that? This is cool. This is the Galaxy Z TriFold. Look at this. TriFold. I guess it's two folds. I mean, you have two seams, but it's called the TriFold because there's 3 panels once you have it open. It's the way that it opens in that type of U shape. This thing's like impossibly thin from what I've seen in its unfolded state. This is like a tablet that folds up and fits in your pocket, more so than it's a phone that's a little bit bigger and unfolds. This episode has been sponsored by ExpressVPN. If you're not a VPN user yet, you're leaving yourself exposed on the internet. You've got zero privacy out there, especially when you're on public Wi-Fi. You might be in a coffee shop logging onto that public Wi-Fi, and who knows who's snooping around. In the same way, you wouldn't just leave your laptop there unattended, but VPNs actually go beyond just that level of privacy protection. And one of my favorite uses for ExpressVPN is to get a fast connection to content that's region locked where I happen to be. And you can have up to 14 different devices protected at once. It'll work on Mac OS, Windows PC, iOS, Android, Linux. You can install it directly on your router or on your Apple TV and a variety of other streaming services. And with servers in 105 different countries, regardless of what you're trying to access and where you're trying to access it from, there is a server for you. I'm talking about Argentina, Bahamas, Bermuda, Bolivia, Brazil, Canada, of course. So if you don't want to be restricted on which content you can watch in which region, and if you don't want your access restricted wherever you happen to travel, and if you want privacy and protection when you're doing that traveling or even just using your device at home. And how about this one? You can use your VPN while shopping because some online retailers actually change the price of things depending on which country you're shopping from. And recently, ExpressVPN has launched other services beyond just their VPN, like their password manager, an eSIM product. And Unbox Therapy viewers can get an extra 4 months by heading over to expressvpn.com/unbox, clicking the link in the description or clicking the QR code that's on the screen right now. The only thing I'm seeing on the outside of this box is 512 gigs of storage. It opens up sort of like this. Look at this thing. I like the geometric, the simplicity, and you get a sense for what it's gonna be. Ooh! So, right away, you see this. Now, I don't think that's like carbon fiber or anything, but it kind of looks like carbon fiber. Whoa. And that is, come on. Are you kidding? Look how thin that is. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at that. So you can't imagine it being thinner. And one of the reasons is because it has a USB-C port. Is as thick as the device. It's edge to edge. So you want to go thinner than this, you gotta start going portless or figure out some other type of port. Here's what's different. Because of the way this thing folds, you actually get an independent external display. So that is separate from that internal unfolded display. Now that is different than the Huawei Mate XT, which it unfolds like so, and the external screen is just a portion of the internal screen. It's 1/3 of it. And then you end up with this exposed screen material where the edge of the phone is. And that doesn't happen here. The whole thing is covered. You have this more robust external screen, which is hard, and the internal display or the softer display is completely covered and protected when it's in its folded state. Now, what happens if I try to do, oh, it gets angry. It says, don't you do that, brother. Who says that? Well, who says brother like that, brother? Hulkmania, that was my era. Dude, I was there. Skydome, you know, John Cena, dude. John Cena was ages later. I'm talking Hulk Hogan. I'm talking Ultimate Warrior, dude. Come on, man. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I was 52 years old when John Cena came out. So yeah, it warns you so you don't do it, because obviously if you did this, I'm just gonna do it. Oh, it's mad right now. You see where the hinge is? Like, you can't even really do it. Smart design. I'll take it. Just because it's so different. I'm not gonna lie, like, this is big. When you're like this is big. And sorry guys, this is my first feeling. I'm just touching the device for the first time. It's heavy. It kind of reminds me of early gen single fold devices with kind of the heft of it, but they didn't do this. If you're watching a movie over there, you flip that baby open like that? I mean, Apple, they're selling an iPad 11-inch. This is 10. One device to rule them all right here. Kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, damn. No thumb dig. This is something I've talked about since early days, and it was one of the reasons to put the later case only on the back side of the folding device. I wouldn't even install the front portion of it. It's obvious, You don't feel like you're gonna drop the device. Your thumb finds that ridge so easily. Smart stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put this here for a moment. There's other stuff in the package. A lot of protective coverings and things. Very robust box to protect your investment. It's gonna be an investment, not even a price. Super fast charging 2.0 from Samsung. 45 watt, 15 watt wireless charging capable, and it also has wireless power share. Well, we're on the topic of power. It has a 5600 milliamp hour battery, which you're gonna need in order to power up this massive display. That's the only stuff in the packet. Oh wait, there's more. So they actually included a case. Is kind of in line with the design elsewhere. Now this feels like it is actual aramid fibers, which is nice. See how the case portion has to slide over to expose the entirety of the front screen. Pretty good. What else are they giving us? Ah, very nice. USB-C cable, SIM tool, and a charge brick. All right, let's do a quick comparison here because we've now got somewhat comparable things that exist as science fiction as they are. Two different approaches to a similar concept. I mean, it looks like the Samsung here is slightly thinner, very comparable, a little bit taller. But again, the main difference being the way in which they give you this 10-inch display. Quite different once you start using it. And then there's a little more mush here. I mean, you could also maybe argue that that's smooth. Like it's a singular motion. And then this guy has a spring-loaded effect. It kind of snaps into place, you see? Okay, some differences between these two devices because I mean, they're really in a league of their own. Obviously we have Snapdragon 8 Elite, 120 Hertz display versus 90 Hertz display. And then camera, ultra wides are both 12 megapixel. The wide angle on the Samsung is 200 megapixel versus 50 here. And obviously you have the Kirin 9010 chip in the Huawei device. And I will say this one just feels thinner. Whether it actually is, I'm not sure. They're very, very comparable, but maybe just because it's slick, it just feels a little bit thinner than this. The cover display, 6.5 inches, dynamic AMOLED 2X, and it has 16 gigs of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of storage. The weight kind of goes along with that at 309 grams. Okay, so let's play around with this a little bit. First thing I want to see is how the display looks on the cover display. It is searing brightness. It does feel really snappy. 120 hertz is 120 hertz. We end up with this really bright and vibrant display. You know the way Samsung's dealing with contrast and colors. It's unbelievable on these OLED displays. Look at this thing. Well, if we're using our device in this orientation, it starts to make more sense to have this swipe out panel. Things get a little easier to reach. We're having a nice slight little haptic here going on, which is good. I'm really liking the contrast on this display. Strong. You get a sense for the audio here. We can't play Armin van Buuren, and I didn't even know he has a song called This Is a Test. That's interesting. I guess these are design limitations, but the speakers are top and bottom when you might want to have them right and left for stereo separation, but you can't. Those speaker units will be folded in when you're in the folded state. And I just think you've got a limitation as well as far as the thickness is concerned for your speaker unit. I mean, they don't sound bad, it's just not as loud as I might have expected on a device like this. That's about it. There's something about having a screen on a device this slim, and there's also something about these folding displays, the way they're laminated, where it feels like the image is just very right there, like on the surface. Holy cow. This is already science fiction. If you would have shown up in my high school and done that, and it had like no brand on it, nothing, and you were just like, who, me? I would have locked you up and thrown away the key. Okay, let's check out the cameras. I'm sure the cameras are gonna be good because they're sharing stuff with the Galaxy lineup, and my goodness, we know how that goes. Oh my, look at the green. Are you kidding? Who's kidding who here? Oh my goodness. Plant's looking better than real life over here. Look at what it's doing with the available light here. You can see the imperfection in the fake grass. Here's your ultra wide. I mean, this is your main camera. Stupid. Even on the crop, you got your personal images like this and you can show people, and you're like, look at where I was. Where were you? Well, you were in Italy, remember? And all of a sudden you're like, look at what I was eating. And you're showing people this? It's the size of a plate.
Yeah, I would start picking at it.
If you would have had the meal right there. Wow, we got the multitasking on the bottom. Wow, let's shoot some video real quick. Let's do that. And I'm just gonna look at, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Look at this guy right here. Smooth zoom slider added. Just tap the smooth zoom icon and then drag the slider. Okay. Oh. Smooth zoom. Whoa! Got carried away. I was a little too smooth there on the zoom. Let's keep it at 1. Okay, so it's got a smooth zoom, but we're gonna just, you've got a little less available light because you're not in front of the light. You've only got the overhead light. And you wear watches now. And you got a nice camera. What's going on? What happened?
Why do you gotta do that?
What did I do?
Just immediately go back to the ring. What do you...
Okay, that's it. Will got toasted up enough, so we'll go over here to Mo.
What up? You want to do an autofocus test?
Okay, move him now. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was better. Yep.
She changing? She adjusting well? If I don't stop this, you're just gonna continue filming for like another 20 minutes of us doing this.
Okay, good. That's good. Guys, I like this. I like it. It's fun. It's cool. It's different. It makes me feel like a kid again. Like it's just creative. It's just you're thinking about trying to engineer these solutions and figure out these things, and it's impressive. This is where we're at with technology. Like this really feels like the fringe of what you can do from an engineering and technology perspective. Like it's right there. It's so damn thin and yet strong enough to use and not flimsy. And I just want you guys to imagine yourself trying to design and execute something like this and where you would start, how you would reach for components, how you would put together a team to execute. Like, my goodness, it's ambitious. It's extremely ambitious, and it's definitely not just like making another phone, putting another version of a similar phone on the market. It is a complete departure, and you gotta respect it.